I hope this isn't the same shirt I wore last time. I don't know. Hi guys, today's video is going to be, as you can tell by the title and thumbnail, about Xbox. I didn't want to make a video on this when all the rumors were spreading. I kind of wanted to wait to see when more information came out. And now more information has come out, and it's not as spicy or anything as I was hoping for. It's just kind of like, ooh, okay. Okay, I guess I should recap. So a couple days ago for me, so probably a few days for you, Phil Spencer, head of Xbox, went on to like a podcast, like basically made an official announcement to the Xbox community and also just in general, just an official announcement, kinda talking about the future of Xbox. And this is about a week or so after a huge amount of leaks and stuff came out about Xbox potentially going multi-platform with their games and stuff, which is pretty big news, considering that as part of the console wars and as part of just being a game company or specifically a console company, having console exclusives is really important to your business model. And so then making your video games no longer console exclusive is a pretty big deal. And so that was kind of the rumors that were circulating. Everybody was talking about that. Phil basically made a tweet saying like, hey, I'll talk about this officially. Like, you know, we hear you. We'll talk about it in a week or so. Just hold your horses. That's basically what he said. And then the official announcement thing, it was kind of, I don't know what you would call it. It wasn't like a announcement per se, like a typical, like at a podium or anything. There wasn't like a big event or anything. It was just kind of a press release. I guess a press release is like the good way of saying it. Long-winded, like half an hour. I don't know. I didn't watch the actual thing. I watched summaries and I've read a couple articles. So go look into it yourself. But basically what you need to know is a long-winded form of saying we're kind of going multi-platform. We're going to have 4 games from Xbox become multi-platform series. Or releases, multi-platform releases, I should say. And that's about it. So it's kind of a nothing burger. It was saying, hey, we still value as a community, but also we're going to make some of our games available elsewhere. And we're kind of testing the waters. And that's kind of all it was. So really, a lot of the talk is still about rumors. It's still about speculation, whatever. All we do really concretely know is that they're not going completely multi-platform. But literally all we know is that they said, hey, later this year, they said 4 games will be going multi-platform. They didn't say what games. They didn't say when. They didn't say really anything. All we have to go off of more than that is rumors. We have a pretty strong guess as to what 4 games it is going to be. Nothing really huge. Probably the biggest one I would personally say is Sea of Thieves. I really only say that because that's the one I've played before. I only played a little bit before. It's a fun game. I don't know. It was cool. I played it early on, though. I heard it got better. I'll just tell you what 4 games are the rumored games. So alongside Sea of Thieves, Grounded, which is a survival action game. Looks like people are small going through obstacle courses. Pentiment, which is an adventure role-playing video game. Sorry, I'm having to read off my computer here, so sorry for the horrible angle. But developed by Obsidian, and Hi-Fi Rush, which is a rhythm-based video game. So those are the rumored games. Nothing huge. They're Microsoft exclusives, and they're testing the waters basically with these 4 by putting them elsewhere. And so what I want to talk about today is just kind of my thoughts on that, my thoughts on the future of Xbox, just kind of, I don't know, all of it, just my rambly thoughts. I don't really think the announcement by Phil Spencer is at all surprising or at all enlightening. It doesn't really say anything more about the future of Xbox. It wasn't a huge thing. It also wasn't small. It does point in directions, but I mean, who knows? That's all I can really say is just who knows? Who knows what the future of Xbox is? I certainly don't. Xbox has been bleeding money for years and years. And they really want to lean into the subscription model stuff with the Xbox Game Pass. I don't really give a crap about the Xbox Game Pass, but you know, whatever, teach their own. I mean, if you like it, cool. They want that to be their knight in shining armor, and it's just not. I mean, it's even Xbox Game Pass isn't making them as much money as I understand. It doesn't have games that make you need to have the Game Pass. It's just like, yeah, it's nice. I guess if you want to be able to play through all those games, cool. But, you might as well just buy the games you want to have and then you own them forever instead of paying a subscription. I've noticed this trend in tech where everybody wants to be Netflix. Everybody wants to have their own subscription model. Everybody wants to do the tech model thing. And it's like, doesn't work for everything. Now, you would think video games would work better, but it's a bit rocky. Games are a little bit different. They're big and they're things that people like to own. And I am making a video where I'm going to talk about the value of physical copies and how I like being able to have physical copies. I don't know how I feel about Game Pass. It's okay. It's its own thing. Whatever. But they're trying to really lean into that, and it's just not working. It's not making them enough money to keep them afloat. When you look at the sales of the Xbox Series X, which is their latest and greatest generation, yeah, it's projected right now that the Xbox Series X has sold like 21 million units, which is not nearly as good as the PS5. And the PS5 is currently sitting at 50 million units. So PlayStation has more than doubled Xbox's sales, which oh shoot, that's really bad. Although if you look at Xbox One versus PS4, which was of course the previous generation, Xbox One sold 57 million units and PS4 sold 117. So again, about half. I mean, in the last generation, PlayStation outsold Xbox by over double, I should say. And currently what we're seeing is that PlayStation is outselling by more than double. A little bit better, but still more than double. So the numbers actually aren't as bad as you might think. It's not like it's a huge drop off. It's just that Xbox X is trailing behind. But they trailed behind in the last generation too. Looking at that, I don't think Xbox is going to disappear anytime soon. Certainly not as a game developer. But the question is, are they going to disappear as a console developer? And I don't know. I think it doesn't look good for them. They could go the way of Sega and just keep making games, but on other platforms. If they're losing money, they're going to lose money regardless, and if that's what's better for their company, that's what's better. I would not like to see PlayStation as a monopoly in the console arena. I mean, of course, we have Nintendo, and Nintendo's always going to, at least for the time being, is going to be there for a while. And we're hearing rumors of them announcing a Switch 2 probably this year, probably in March. I don't know. But Nintendo's Nintendo. It's kind of its own market. Looking at Sony versus Microsoft, I don't want to see PlayStation become a monopoly in the console arena, but I also think that if Xbox went anywhere, it's a big enough market. Somebody's going to squeeze in there somehow. Somebody's going to try and make their own console, and they'll probably do something good. So if the game market goes towards PlayStation and Xbox loses out, then so be it, I guess. However, I do think this isn't helping. By making their games multi-console, it shows that they don't see the future in their own product, and that's not good. Now, they've already had a lot of their games be multi-platform, I guess, across PC. It's been a while now where Xbox games released on the same day, usually for PC. I don't think that was necessarily bad. PC audience versus console audience are different audiences, and it kind of just works. People that want to play on PC are going to play on PC, and they're not probably going to play on console. And people that want to play on console are probably going to play on console and not want to transition over to PC. That's not as big of a deal as allowing your games to go across consoles. Now, I think that if their console service was just fucking excellent, and they had so many games, then yeah, I mean, they might be able to do multi-platform games and then have a committed audience base for their consoles if their consoles were great. And this is not me saying that consoles are bad. I actually used to play Xbox, and then I transitioned over to PlayStation, and I just like PlayStation more. I feel like there's nothing necessarily outstanding about the Xbox that makes you go, oh yeah, I just have to have an Xbox. But there's a number of things about PlayStation where it's like, yeah, I guess I gotta have a PlayStation, And one of the big things being games, console exclusives make that important. And so I think in that context, the thing that makes Xbox sell is if they made great games for their consoles. what it seems to be that the pattern is that they just buy studios hoping to milk out series for already existing game series, but that's been short-sighted, and I think it's biting them in the butt. And they're just trying to evolve the company. It'll be interesting to see where it goes from here. What Phil has said is that these 4 games are kind of gonna be testing. Like he's open-minded to more games going multi-platform in the future. These 4 are just kind of testing the water, really. That's basically what he said. So if they do well in sales, they'll probably do it more with more. And the truth is, I don't see why they wouldn't do it with more. You know, if they're gonna do it this, I guess there's a chance they do it with this, and they're like, yeah, you know, screw it. This is, all of our games are still gonna be on our own console and PC. I think that their games are gonna do well enough multi-platform that they probably will just make more games multi-platform. And I think that'll really signal that Xbox isn't gonna last. But I don't know. I could be wrong. I mean, maybe they develop some new console that's gonna really blow it out of the water, but they really have to stack up against PlayStation in order to do that. And right now they're just not. I don't really see a reason to buy an Xbox right now. I'll just buy a PlayStation when I have the money. That makes more sense. Especially when you see that it's got more money behind it, it's got more games behind it, it's got a better future behind it. The company itself sees better of a future. I mean, when you're moving your games to other platforms, that doesn't signal to the audience or consumers that you see your console having a future. I think Microsoft is leaning away from the console game. That's what it seems like, unless they do something new. I don't know. They could totally do something new. I would love to see it. I would love to see Xbox really provide an awesome experience that you just like, well, shoot, I just have to have an Xbox for whatever reason. They could, I guess, try and make some portable, but I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know what I would do if I were Microsoft. I don't have strong opinions about what's going to happen because I don't know what's going to happen. And all we've got is leaks and rumors, and mostly it's just, yeah, 4 games are going to be going multi-platform. They'll see how it goes. Maybe they'll keep doing it. I would say they'll probably will keep doing it, but who knows? I think for the future of Xbox, they really need to focus on making their consoles as good as possible. Make that service just so worth it that it's like, yeah, it'll beat out. I mean, the fact that the Xbox Series X is worth $500 right now, when PlayStation 5 is also worth $500. I mean, at the very least, like, it should be cheaper. Like, it should, there should be an incentive to do that, to buy an Xbox instead of a PlayStation. That's more than just well, we're Xbox, you know. This might be the beginning of a slow death for Xbox. I would not expect anything tomorrow to happen. They're still going to be around. They'll live out this generation. It's just the next generation. That's the question. I also wonder about their games, because since a lot of their game studios is just bought out game studios, I guess they got Halo going for them, but Halo is also kind of a beaten, dead horse. So I don't know, man. I don't know. PlayStation's kicking ass though, so I guess good for them, as long as it doesn't end up bad for consumers. I really wish I had something more insightful to say other than that, but I kind of really don't. I think the rumors before the actual announcement were more interesting, because it's like, oh my gosh, is Indiana Jones gonna go multi-platform? Is Halo gonna go multi-platform? Is Xbox dead? And now it's just kind of like, well, they're really trying to make it sound like they're not dead, that they're just, I don't know, maybe they changed stuff behind, when all the leaks were going out and people were talking, they're like, you know what, we're gonna scrap this plan, we're only gonna do 4 games, I don't know. Now, after the press release, I don't know. I mean, it really kind of takes the heat out of it, where it's like, okay, well, I guess they're just playing with it, and then it's just speculation from there, and that's all it is. It could be that what they do is that their model from here on is just they release games, and then after a year or so, they release it on other platforms. I guess then that would kind of keep their console exclusive for a bit. But then again, that just kind of feels like a slow bleed, where eventually they will just stop making consoles. I don't know. They just need to start making money on their consoles and their games. They just need to sell more consoles. I mean, if they just sold more consoles at the end of the day, then they would do better. But they don't right now. So I guess there you go. That's it. That's the recap. That's the Xbox stuff going on. And those are my thoughts. Well, if you watched all that, maybe consider subscribing and liking. Maybe you can leave a comment talking about your thoughts. Yeah. See you in the next one. Brush your teeth. Make sure you really got to brush your teeth, man. They stink. They stink. They're gross. Brush your teeth. All right. Goodbye.